Project 2025's authors want to classify anything outside of heteronormativity, any discussion of gender or sexuality, or even the existence of trans people as pornography. They want to imprison anyone who provides information related to sexuality and gender. They want any company or organization that publishes or even provides information related to sexuality and gender to be shut down. They literally call for the eradication of any mention of queer people, gender, sexuality, reproductive health, and anything related to diversity and inclusion. That is the conservative vision for America. They literally wrote it down. If Donald Trump is elected, they will hold it up as a mandate to transform America into a dystopian chapter from a Margaret Atwood novel.
Let's talk about why I am voting for Donald Trump despite being a trans person. And we are, in fact, free to vote for whoever the fuck we want as Americans before any other group you can call us, right? And for me, the idea that because I'm trans, my vote has to be promised to Democrats each and every time, regardless of their behavior or the candidates they put up, it's a bit demeaning. Obama scolding black men, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's this feeling of ownership over minority groups that the modern left has that is, in my opinion, very disgusting, because feeling like you own them is a bit worse than disliking them, in my opinion. And that's how Democrats view gay people, trans people, people of color. We'll keep it to trans today, though.
Here's my plan to stop the chemical, physical, and emotional mutilation of our youth.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And today, Vicky, the resident lesbian, and I are going to talk about Trump winning because the TQIA community is losing their minds. This is a mental disorder that needs to be kept in a medicalized space.
The authors of Project 2025 made the connection between pornography and transgender people in a calculated and cynical move to equate the two. Its goal is to paint the very idea of people who are not straight and cisgendered as obscene, dangerous, and ultimately illegal.
The next clip includes derogatory language about persons with learning disabilities. It is unedited for the purpose of maintaining accuracy with regard to Blaire White's communication style. Viewer discretion is advised.
So to believe that it is shocking, wrong, incorrect, or crazy that I'm trans and voting for Trump, you'd have to believe two retarded things. The first is that you'd have to believe that I only care about trans rights, that I'm not capable or interested in the economy, foreign policy, the border, immigration, crime, a litany of things that my mind, is actually, in fact, capable of pondering.
On day one, I will revoke Joe Biden's cruel policies on so-called gender-affirming care. Ridiculous. Wow. A process that includes giving kids puberty blockers, mutating their physical appearance, and ultimately performing surgery on minor children. Can you believe this?
And people are going to hate me for saying this, and I kind of don't care, but I think your life's going to improve under Trump.
I told you so.
Hello?
Let's talk about why I am voting for Donald J. Trump. Now, I am inherently anti-war, and I believe that objectively, inarguably, the candidate that is the least likely to propel us into any new wars or exacerbate the ones we're in right now is Donald Trump.
Pretty much most of the stuff he's saying, I agree with, just so you know. So don't get your panties in a wad, because I agree with a lot of what he's saying.
Executive order instructing every federal agency to cease all programs that promote the concept of sex and gender transition at any age.
He will stop the promoting of sex and gender nonsense, okay?
If they just stopped with this stuff, this childhood transition stuff, and acting like they're experts in all of this, and
that's right.
It's so gross.
My second issue is definitely immigration. Border crossings quadrupled under Biden-Harris. Quadrupled. Now, 10 million is like, you can't even really conceive of that.
They're acting like it's the end of the world. Like, come on, Trump has already been in office. Like, he literally was the president. Did he do anything? do not believe he did anything against trans or LGBT people when he was in office. Did he? Do you remember anything that was?
The only thing that came up was the thing with the military, and it kind of made sense because I think
Yes.
I think he didn't want people to
Yes.
be in transition
That's
while they're in
right.
the military.
And I will tell you that I agree with that.
That 2017 ban, initiated in a series of surprise Twitter messages, caught the Pentagon off guard, as there had been no issues with trans service and military readiness. According to the Human Rights Campaign and other news sources, Donald Trump has begun planning for an executive order that would reinstate and expand upon his first-term ban on transgender military service.
Next is the First and Second Amendments. I put them together and somewhat interchangeably in my mind because we don't have a country without those first two. Going into a dictatorship, what they do is they take away the speech and the guns, the speech and the guns, the speech and the guns. And I probably shouldn't have to explain to you why one candidate is objectively better on free speech.
It has no claim to First Amendment protection. Its purveyors are child predators, misogynistic exploiters of women. Pornography should be outlawed. The people who produce and distribute it should be imprisoned. Educators and public librarians who purvey it should be classified as registered sex offenders.
You don't vote for a perfect candidate, you vote for a preferred candidate. These are very different words. The perfect candidate, until Jesus Christ comes back, is not going to happen. And when he comes, I doubt he's going to be running for office. In fact, I know he will not.
Finally, Buck Angel, self-described trans elder, uses his platform to mock, misgender, demonize, and bully a young queer person sharing their personal fears about Trump's return to office.
Is a non-binary trans woman. Now, this one is you're gonna love this one.
How can you be non-binary and trans? God, why?
You can't. Okay, here it goes.
Friends, less fun video today than I would have hoped. I found out that Donald Trump used me and my gorgeous friend Dylan in his most recent advertisement, and I saw it. And I kind of fell apart. Because I fear for the safety of our community, and I felt...
Let me say something to you. You're the one who's created the unsafety space for us because you're posers, grifters, freaks, you mess with kids, and now they used it, and now guess what? Everything you have that you think is going to be taken away, the grift is up, dude.